Hello, good morning. Father Rayappa from Ekattupudi village near Vellore, Tamil Nadu, India. So today I'm going to talk and quote article or paragraph number 129 from Laudato Si, Pope Francis's encyclical on ecology and environment. So Pope Francis is talking about agriculture, talking about farmers. There are 32 beautiful texts concerning farmers and their agriculture. And we need to create agrarian theology for our people. Yes, our poor farmers are suffering. Drought, famine, loss of land, loss of productivity. So these are very bad times for farmers. Many farmers choose to commit suicide. 3,300,000 Indians committed suicide from 1995 to 2015. So that's a big number. So we need to provide a framework, a spiritual framework. I call it agrarian theology. At times, dangerous times, farmers can resort to this religious rationale and they can have some hope in their lives. So, shall I read Pope Francis writing in article number 129, paragraph number 129. In order to continue providing employment, it is imperative to promote an economy which favors productive diversity and business creativity, especially in agricultural sector and also business sector. For example, there is a great variety of small-scale food production systems which feed the greater part of the world's peoples, using a modest amount of land and producing less waste. Be it in small agricultural parcels, in orchards and gardens, hunting and wild harvesting, or local fishing. Economies of scale, especially in the agricultural sector, end up forcing smallholders to sell their land or to abandon their traditional crops. Their attempts to move to other more diversified means of production prove fruitless because of the difficulty of linkage with regional and global markets, or because the infrastructure for sales and transport is geared to larger businesses. Civil authorities have a right and duty to adopt clear and firm measures in support of small farmers, producers, and differentiated production to ensure economic freedom from which all can effectively benefit. Restraints occasionally have to be imposed on those possessing greater resources and financial power. To claim economic freedom while real conditions bar many people from actual access to it, and while possibilities for employment continue to shrink, is to practice a double spec which brings politics into disrepute. Business is a noble vocation directed to producing wealth and improving our world. Can be a fruitful source of prosperity for those areas in which it operates, especially if it sees the creation of jobs as an essential part of its service to the common good. Wow! Article number 129, very, very appropriate for farmers, small farmers. Like my brother farm. Look at here, the cattle here, and he produces very good crops in small amounts. He produces tomatoes, he produces chilies, he produces rice, and he produces rye, and he produces onions, cucumbers, and daikon, brinjal, you name it. Pretty much he produces everything in this piece of land. So these are all organic farming, and Pope is recommending to support this kind of small farmers because the industry farming, the multinationals, they bring monocrop. If the world wants only maize, they produce maize. They want barley, they produce barley. Monoculture, they destroy land eventually. But here it is a multiculture, it's a multi-crop. So here it's an integral agricultural system. Industry farming is only monoculture. There is no integral. It's all isolated, fragmented. So you damage the environment, you damage the land, and you damage every part of environment. But in integral farming, as my brother does, multi-crops, and the Pope is recommending to support this kind of farming. And also, when my brother produces all this produce, and when he goes for market, sometimes they don't buy it, and they ask for cutthroat prices, very low prices, and he can't make any money. He loses. His input is more than output. So there is discouragement in farming. So Pope is appealing to the governments to establish an infrastructure where farmers can sell their own produce at a good price, at least reasonable price. So Pope is telling to look into the matter deeply, and also linkage. When they produce, he calls this selling the produce is called linkage to the market. So today they are absolutely, small farmers produces is rejected. Only industrial farming they want to consume. In the supermarkets they want to buy only industrial farming produce, but the small farmers produce, they don't have value. So it's a linkage problem, and they produce, there is no transportation to carry this produce to the markets, and when they go to the market there is no buyers. So there are a lot of problems for farmers. So I think Pope is showing mercy and compassion. So Laudato Si, this encyclical on ecology and environment, recommends people to go for organic farming, small packaging, linkage, distribution, healthy food eating, and saving land, water, and environment. So please read paragraph number 1 to 9. It's a beautiful text for the farmers around the world. Thank you. God bless.